the dust kicked up in the rodeo sun. At the Bowles rodeo, we're having some fun. With my trusty steed, a Palomino named Flash, we're gonna take home the gold in a whole lot of dash. Bowles rodeo, where the cowboys all meet to show off their skills and their horses so fleet. With the crowd cheering loud and the music so grand, we're riding and roping the best in the land. Barrel racing's my game, with a twist and a turn. Round those barrels we fly, hearts are burning with yearn. Then we'll show in the ring with the trot and the prance. Flash and we, a team, a true country dance. Bowles rodeo, where the cowboys all meet to show off their skills and their horses so fleet. With the crowd cheering loud and the music so grand, we're riding and roping the best in the land. The sun's going down, the stars start to gleam, but the party ain't over, it's still a cowboy's dream. With the bonfire blazing and the guitars a-humming, we'll dance all night long till the new day is coming. Bowles rodeo, where the cowboys all meet to show off their skills and their horses so fleet. With the crowd cheering loud and the music so grand, we're riding and roping the best in the land. Oh, whoa.
For those with dirt in their boots and music in their soul, this is Bowles Radio.
Grab your partner, honey, let's hit the floor. Bowles Radio, Texas, two-step ain't no bore. Shuffle to the left and a slide to the right. Kick up your heels, let's make this a night. Bowles Radio two-step, it's easy as pie. Two quick steps, a slow, a sway, then fly. Around two-step ain't no trick to defeat. Bowls Radio two-step, it's easy as pie. Two quick steps, a slower sway, then fly. Around we go, a spin and a whirl. Let loose, have fun, forget the whole world. From the honky-tonks to the dance hall floors, Bowls Radio two-step opens all the doors. It's not just a dance, it's a way to connect. So grab your boots and let's show some respect. Bowls Radio two-step, it's easy as pie. Two quick steps, a slower sway, then fly. Around we go, a spin and a whirl. Let loose, have fun, forget the whole Got my boots laced up, it's a brand new morn. Fields of gold and the corn's reborn. From the rolling hills to the flat expanse, I do my day's work without a second glance. We work in the land, grand as can be. From the wide hills to the fertile prairie, country in the country, where we stand so proud. Bowls Radio's playing, turning it up loud. For the tractor's hum is my kind of tune. Under the sun or the silver moon. From every seed I sow, I smile. 'Cause I'll be heads working the miles. We work in the land, grand as can be. From the wide hill to the fertile prairie, country in the country, where we stand so proud. Bowls Radio's playing, turning it up loud. Country in the country, where we stand so proud. Bowls Radio's playing, turning it up loud. Whispers secrets old and true of heart and soil and the morning dew. I take my hat off, look around and see this land is what makes the soul feel free. the keepers of earth, toiling in silence, knowing its worth. From dawn's early light till the day is done, we're country strong and second to none. But we're working the land, grand as can be, from the wide hill to the fertile prairie. Country in the country, where we stand so proud. Bowls radio's playing, turning it up loud. Country in the country, where we stand so proud. Bowls radio's playing, turning it up loud. So I'll keep plowing, happy and slow. Bold radio's on, let the music flow. From the wide hill to the fertile prairie, we're just folks who are very, oh so very grand.
And hey, here
When
we
you're hankering
are
for a
on
hunk of
Bowls
country,
Radio.
well,
And
just
I'll just
keep
talk over
yourself
myself
here
right now.
on Bowls Radio.
I hit the wrong button. Oh, a new song. Hey! It's David Bowles. And this is Bowls.tv. We also have Bowls.radio, where you can hear all this great streaming music that you've been listening to at the start of the show. Hey, we're coming to you live from the East Coast of these United States. And it's high noon. Very gloomy. It's been raining all week. It's hot, sticky, slick, and slippery, and not a lot of fun. But this is how and where we live. And so we accept it. But it's getting hotter out there, so you have the windows open all night and the breeze is coming in and trying to cool you down, but it's not cooling you down because it's actually hot and humid rainwater. So you listen to some of our original songs today, and we're going to be talking about Spotify and a little bit of a problem they're having with some original songs. And then we'll also talk about Paul McCartney. And we're going to kick this off by talking about Dorothy Lynch, Salad Dressing to the Stars. Now, Dorothy Lynch is a Midwestern salad dressing, meaning that you open it and it's salad. Put it on your salad, right? It's this is not a paid sponsorship. This is just something that I'm sharing from my Nebraska childhood. This is a little teeny tiny jar. We didn't know this jar was going to be this tiny when we ordered it. There's also a great big giant jar that we've ordered in the past. But the problem is with Dorothy Lynch's distribution. Hard to get on the East Coast unless you have connections back home, or you go to Amazon or a similar place, space, and put it in order. So Dorothy Lynch is sort of a more exotic tasting French dressing. There are some people in the Midwest who swear by Dorothy Lynch. They would drink it for breakfast, straight out of the bottle, if they could. And I think they do. And what makes Dorothy Lynch so special? I don't know, it's because it's, made in Nebraska. Or if it's just some kind of special taste that it has, because it is pretty much French dressing. With extra added spices, I guess. But it's unforgettable. It becomes part of your childhood, and as you move away and move on with your life, you think, oh my goodness, how am I going to live without Dorothy Lynch dressing? And when you leave 30 years ago, you really have no way to get Dorothy Lynch dressing. But now that we live in the new age, now that we are on our 5th lifetime, that now includes the internet and streaming music and creating music and AI bots, you can go online and you can order your childhood dreams and wishes in the guise of Dorothy Lynch dressing. So it's very interesting online. And we had this conversation earlier on another show that, let's say you want to buy some Dorothy Lynch dressing. You can pay $15 on, let's say, a site like Amazon, right? $15 for one big bottle. Or you can see the same bottle being sold for $2. And you think, oh my goodness, I'm going to order that. That's the difference between $15 and $2 is like $1 million. And then you get to the checkout. And you find out that the $15 bottle of Dorothy Lynch salad dressing is free with your Prime subscription. Shipping is free. So it's $15. Then you look at your $2 bottle of the same exact jar of Dorothy Lynch salad dressing. And you quickly realize the reason it's $2 is because shipping is $16. Because it's not Prime shipping and it takes forever to get to you. So instead of paying $15 and getting it tomorrow, you're paying $18 and getting it in 3 weeks. And you really don't know that unless you're paying attention. Or unless, like someone like me, I'm not saying it was me, could be me. You just order the wrong thing and it arrives and it's all messed up because you think you're getting a deal and you're not because you're paying a lot for shipping. And then it's like, we'll get to it when we get to it. Now, when I ordered this, I did not know it was a little tiny bottle. Okay, this is my iPhone. If you know anything about the early life of television, you will recognize, I hope, this is a VHS replica of a VHS box, right? Cute, right? Of a VHS video box. So if you're of a certain age, like 40 or 50, you know what VHS is. Not Betamax, VHS. And this is one of the brands you use to record your favorite television show, to record a show, whatever. So this is the size differential, right? This is tiny for salad dressing. It's because I like a lot of salad dressing. This is like 2 or 3 big salads. This little tiny thing here. Okay? So, I ordered the $2 bottle with the $16 shipping, and I think 12 of these arrived. And I thought, well, that's weird. I paid $2 for $12.24 plus $1 million for shipping and waiting 3 weeks to get it. Okay, at least it's here. And it looks like it's shipped directly from Nebraska. Okay, well, that's interesting. Direct from the manufacturer. Direct from the place of origin. I'll take it. And then I discovered that these things were included in my order. Give Nebraska customizable gift boxes from Grow Nebraska. Flexible pricing, order 1 or 100. Okay, here's the other side of it. Yeah. I guess examples of things. So I guess I was buying from an online retailer based in Nebraska. I guess promoting Nebraska. It looks like a coupon code. I'm not sharing it. Looks like it was also signed. So I guess I stumbled upon a kind of fun, interesting thing where you can scan things and you're buying direct from Nebraska and the manufacturer. You can join a Nebraska club. You can pick a club. I guess you can be part of the Dorothy Lynch Club and get a delivery schedule. is the other side with the actual Dorothy Lynch. I guess that's my invitation to the club. I guess. I don't know. But when I found all of this in my delivery, I said, fun, right? So if you're looking for a gift from a person from the Midwest, particularly Nebraska, what could I get them that would be memorable and interesting and perhaps even delicious as a gift for a wedding or a birthday party or an anniversary gift or Christmas or whatever? Hey, why not join them to the club, the Dorothy Lynch Club? Money well spent. And it's super delicious, and it reminds you of home. Next on our agenda item, we're going to be talking a little bit about music. And not necessarily, creating music together, but talking about specifically Paul McCartney to kick off this conversation. Now, we have Get Back, which we discussed at length when it first came out, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Loved it. Very interesting. Now, Get Back came out, which is like the remake of the original Get Back that's like cleaned up, but it's still a big morass of misery. And it's weird because Let It Be is technically the last album released by the Beatles, along with this awful movie where they all are made to look like they hate each other. And that's what we all thought for 40 years, 50 years. Oh my gosh, the Beatles broke up, they hate each other. However, when you watch Get Back for 3 hours, you realize these guys work great together. There's a little bit of, jealousy and tension, but it's that way in anything that's successful. And then you realize in the creational steps of the Beatles that their last album was not Let It Be. Their last album together as a team, as a gang, as a group of guys was Abbey Road, which is like one of the best albums ever created or released. My favorite album of all time, I would say. Not only my favorite Beatle album, but my favorite album. That 12-minute span of Sun King and it all blends in together as one song is wow. If we could only be that kind of genius. So people want to know about the Beatles. They want them to speak, to make themselves known, their dreams. And there are, I guess, now they're making 4 Beatles movies, which seems a little ridiculous to me. It's going to focus on each Beatle, and they're going to be 4 movies over 4 years being released. I don't know. But the one thing with musicians is if you have interesting lyrics that are not really super specific, but that are kind of generalized on purpose to mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, people tend to want to know, what do you mean by that lyric? What was your reasoning behind creating that lyric? Not really why did you choose that chord progression or that melody. People, fans, they want to know about the lyrics. Explain it to me. And some artists fall into that trap of, oh, it means, and then they give the reason. Carly Simon, you probably think the song is about you. Who's it about? And then, I guess for charity, she revealed who it was about, and it was, I don't even know who it was about. Warren Beatty, somebody else. James Taylor, nobody really knows or cares. And the risk of telling people what you meant by a lyric is it may not sync with what they think the song is about. And that's dangerous because when you create something it doesn't mean you're the interpreter of that something. It means you've created something that you are putting out into the world for people to react to positively, negatively. Sometimes you don't get a good positive reaction until long after you're dead. Ask Vincent van Gogh. Found his greatest success long after he was dead. During his life, he was nothing. We now know he was really everything, but he didn't think he was anything. So it's always best when people ask, what did you mean by that? For you just to kind of give a general answer. It means whatever you want it to mean. And it's in music, that's especially true. I wrote the song, here are the words, but what it means can only mean something to you. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm not going to tell you what I thought it meant. So here's where it gets interesting, in that Paul McCartney, several years ago, sat down and wrote a book, not a biography. Now, people want the Paul McCartney biography. They want a biography from all of the Beatles, an official autobiography. And so far, I don't think they've done it. I know Paul hasn't done it. However, Paul released a 2-volume set of Paul McCartney lyrics, where he goes through each of his Paul McCartney songs as part of the Beatles, and I think as Wings. It just arrived. I'm looking through it. I'm relishing every page. And what he does is Paul doesn't tell you how you should think about his lyrics. He tells you the context and the situation that led him to write those lyrics in that particular song. I know it sounds confusing, but this is what it looks like. I'm telling you, it's 10 pounds. Oh, this is the back. This is the 2-set volume. There's Mr. Paul, Sir Paul. Paul McCartney, the lyrics. The act of writing a song is a unique experience, unlike anything I know. You have to be in the right mood and start with a clear mind. You must trust your initial feelings, young Padawan, because at the beginning you don't know where you're going. Okay, Paul McCartney. Now, A to K, L through Z. Huge. I'll take out one of them. And this is, I got the hardback version because it's Paul McCartney. Okay, this is what it looks like. A through K, the back. And the bookcase, too. Knock on wood, knock on Paul McCartney. It's fantastic. And it's not just, a dry book. It's a book with a lot of text. A lot of text, a lot of photographs, explanations. This one is Honey Pie. It has all the lyrics on one side, and then it has Paul's reaction and insight into his song on the other side. Another example. And, you think that this book would be expensive, but I think it was only like $25 on Amazon for the hardback version. I think there are several versions that are out there, but this appears to be the most official. So, Paul McCartney didn't write a biography, but he wrote not an explanation, but an investigation into his lyrics. And he lets his lyrics speak for him. Paul and Linda. And you just, if you have any love for the Beatles, you're going to love this book. This set of books. And I do. right? Part 2. L through Z. And you get all of these wonderful... I hate dust covers, so we can take this off for just a second, and I'll show you what it looks like without the dust cover on there. And I know if you're a book fan, you're supposed to leave the dust cover on, but I never do because I don't like them. I don't plan to resell my books, ever. My books are my friends, and I'm not getting rid of them, and I'm not selling them. Not that anybody wanted to buy them. Some pages are not even lyrics. They're just wonderful photographs taken by Paul. Paul was a good photographer. It's probably why he and Linda had such a connection, because it was beyond music. They were into Maybe I'm Amazed. It's a Wing song, right? Here, There, Everywhere is a very interesting take on Sir Paul. Even more. So this kind of book, to me, normally would be like $200. A 2-volume hardback book from the great Sir Paul? Come on now. People pay a lot of money for that. And it doesn't cost you a lot of money. It costs you mere pennies on the day. So it's not just lyrics and analysis. And I'd read them to you, but I don't really have the right to do that. And there are even friends. Hey, Leno, no. John and Yoko. Warm and Beautiful. Who doesn't love Paul McCartney? There was an interview the other day with Ringo saying, if we didn't have Paul pushing us to do new music, we probably wouldn't have had as many albums as we had. Now, isn't that interesting? And in Get Back, you saw that, where Paul McCartney said, look, I have 14 songs for us to get ready in whatever it was, 2 weeks, or we're not going to have an album and we're not going to have everything done. So please show up, sit down, behave, and let's write. So if you didn't have Paul pushing that, we wouldn't probably have Abbey Road. We wouldn't have Let It Be. So that is my Paul McCartney delight of the day. Now, dear friend, we take our next step in our musical composition conversation into what is going on at Spotify. Now, I'm probably going to have to skedaddle this over a little bit so it fits off screen. So Rick Beato is a guitarist, has his own guitar line from either Fender or Gibson. I can't remember which one. I think it's Gibson. And he does a lot of music, does a lot of interviews. Very interesting guy, and has a lot of good information that he shares. And this news kind of broke about Spotify somehow re-records music by famous people. And since they're re-recording the song somehow, or being inspired by the song somehow, using AI, it appears, Spotify then plays that music on their service. And I think Rick said, or the person who's interviewing said, it's like 40% of the songs you hear on Spotify are created by Spotify, so they don't have to pay the artists. So are they imitating the Beatles sound alike, and they record and re-record it using AI, and then they don't have to pay all the royalties to the... It's very interesting, and it's new. So I will put this link to all of this in our Discord server, which I just shared with you in chat. So here's an interesting beginning to this conversation. In a recent episode of Rick Beato's amazing YouTube channel, the host sat down with Ted Goya, or Gioia, I don't know, the renowned author, historian, and futurist, to discuss the profound implications of artificial intelligence on the music industry. Now, I can tell you right now, working a lot with AI, that sentence I just read to you sounds suspiciously like it was written by an AI bot. And how do we know? Regular people don't use the word profound. Profound, realm, delve. There were about 5 or 6 journey, woven, threads. Moreover, firstly, secondly, that for some reason all of the chat bots, all of the AI chat bots use those words. And they're used so repeatedly and sort of out of context that it's not natural and it doesn't come off naturally. And so you think, oh, I mean, it just... I've heard that before. So the profound implications of artificial intelligence of the music industry, known for his deep dives into the evolution of music and American culture, Ted brings a wealth of knowledge and unique perspective to the conversation, shedding light on the silent but significant impact of AI on various creative fields. So they began by discussing the secrecy surrounding AI's integration into writing and music. And it is sort of a shameful truth. I was talking to a friend who is I would say a bedroom musician, but has found some success. And he said he has not touched a keyboard or picked up a guitar in 3 months. And he's making more music than ever. And I said, knowingly, profoundly, "Tell us, kind sir, what do you mean?" And he said he's using AI to create his music. He doesn't have to sweat it out anymore. He can tell the AI, and they're very specific, specialized music bots, that will create things for you if you prompt them properly. And they will return that result for you to use in your music. So AI, there are instances like in Sports Illustrated, uses AI-generated articles under fictitious bylines to cut costs without disclosing that to readers. The practice reflects a broader trend of undisclosed AI use in creative industries. Now, what about Spotify? Ted recounted an incident where a user identified multiple identical-sounding tracks attributed to different artists. This raised suspicions that Spotify might be using AI to create music, potentially to reduce royalty payments to real musicians. So this isn't users uploading stuff to Spotify because they would have to get paid. This is Spotify itself creating music and uploading it to their system as if it's an originally created song, which is fine, but not if you're trying to get around having to pay other people for the work that you are specifically imitating. And although this could not be directly proven, the pattern suggests a deliberate strategy to maximize profits at the expense of artists. Sort of like what Taylor Swift did, right? Some guy bought all of her old songs, and she was furious about it, so she went out and re-recorded all of her old songs so she could own them herself again. I guess that's kind of what Spotify's doing. They're somehow re-recording famous songs and calling it like a cover. and then they're collecting the royalties that would go to the artist instead of paying the artist? I guess that's the argument. The fear is that AI's role in music is primarily a cost-saving measure, benefiting companies while harming musicians and the fan base. He cited the example of Universal Music's temporary withdrawal from TikTok over concerns about AI-generated music diverting revenue from real artists. That scenario could become increasingly common with tech platforms leveraging AI to bypass traditional royalty systems. Now, here's what's interesting about that, is that Taylor Swift forced Universal to put their music back on TikTok because she had that big Damaged Poets 5-set something album coming out, and she said, I have to have TikTok. So my music's going to appear on TikTok. And so Universal, because they're a bunch of bean counters and money pushers, agreed with her and said, okay, put your music on there. We'll withdraw our ban on our music being on TikTok because of Taylor Swift. So I guess you can either thank her or blame her for that outcome. So this story goes on. Now, that came out a couple days ago. This is what came out this morning that I saw. Spotify receives a cease and desist letter from music publishers for alleged unlicensed lyrics and video. This is from Billboard. I will post this link on our Discord server as well. Spotify appears to be engaged in direct infringement by hosting unlicensed musical works in its lyrics, videos, and podcasts. The National Music Publishers Association sent a cease and desist letter to Spotify. The organization says that it demands these alleged unlicensed works be removed from the platform, or Spotify will face copyright liability for continued use of these works. The letter comes a week after Billboard released an estimate claiming that Spotify will pay about $150 million less in U.S. mechanical royalties to music publishers and songwriters in the next year than what publishers and songwriters were previously expecting. And this is because Spotify added audiobooks into its premium, family, and dual plans, and the company claims that the move now qualifies them as a bundle, which pays a discounted royalty rate from a normal standalone subscription, given Spotify now has to pay for books and music in the same subscription price. The letter says Spotify appears to be engaged in direct infringement by hosting unlicensed musical works in its lyrics, videos, and podcasts, by distributing unauthorized reproductions, synchronizations, displays, and derivative sues of these musical works to its users. Making the matter worse, Spotify profits from such an infringement. The group also cites a recent Wall Street Journal article that claims Spotify is working on tools that would allow subscribers to speed up, mash up, and otherwise edit songs from their favorite artists. In its letter to Spotify, warning the streaming platform that if any such feature is released by Spotify without proper licenses in place from our membership, it may constitute additional direct infringement. So this is going to be very interesting as this plays out, because if you create something, AI, that's inspired by something specific, there are tools that can be used to listen and make connections to prove, provenance. Who came first and what came first? Now, as we've discussed many times on this live show, it doesn't really make sense that people can copyright the melody of a song. How can you copyright 3 tones in a row and then sue someone for using those same 3 tones, when those 3 tones have been used since the beginning of human existence. It's just because the person who first copyrighted those 3 tones gets the right to use it forever? I've never understood that. It doesn't make any sense. So this is a very interesting read, a little bit technical. Billboard is a industry magazine, but it's worth watching, and we will continue to watch it. In other news, U.S. engagement hits an 11-year low. What does that mean? Well, 48 million fewer U.S. employees are engaged at work in 2024. Continuing a downward trend, employee engagement in the U.S. has dropped to its lowest level in a decade. And this is, I guess, including the COVID scare. Last year, U.S. employees were increasingly detached from their employers, with the workforce representing less role clarity, lower satisfaction with their organizers, and less connection to their company's mission or purpose. Employees were also less likely to feel someone at work cares about them. Now, there are people who said, oh, your work family is your real family. And I know there are other people who say, no, I have a family. Work is work, and family is family. We might be working on something together. We may stay up all night, several weeks in a row, working on a project, but we're not friends, and we're not family. It's an interesting take. Not a take that I really support, because I think, when you work intimately with someone on something, that it has to be about more than just work, or it's just going to be dry and dead. The drop in these employee engagement elements was particularly acute in remote, hybrid, and younger workers. By the end of 2023, 33% of U.S. employees overall were highly engaged, meaning they were highly motivated and enthusiastic about their work and workplaces. And here are the trends. Younger employees under the age of 35, particularly Generation Z, feel less connected to their organization's culture. It's the old people who stick around, and it's the old people who are in charge, and the old people who want to force everybody to come back to work. And on a related topic, most student loan borrowers have debt that has delayed major life events. And we have found this to be very true. Not only in our case, but in the case of most of our peers and friends who are our age. If you wanted to be someone in your life, you pretty much had to go to graduate school, and the better graduate school you went to, the chances were likely that your opportunities would probably be a little bit better than those who didn't go. But if you go to an elite school, then, as now, you're going to pay tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. And these schools are for profit. They're not there to send you to school for free. So you're going to be taking out loans, and those loans, when you're done with your schooling, need to be paid. And then what? Well, you skip the house, you skip the car, you skip the children, because all of that money that you would normally spend on those things are going to pay down a student loan debt that never reduces. You're making interest-only payments on hundreds of thousands of loans, and you never get ahead. 71% delay buying homes, purchasing cars, or achieving other milestones because of their loan debt. And you would think, aren't they selfish and aren't they dumb? But you can also say they're dealing with reality. They are dealing with the reality that they owe a lot of money, so they're making conscious decisions. I'm not going to have a car. I'm not going to be able to buy a home. I cannot afford to have children because I have these debts I have to pay off, And if I default, they're going to come after me. And I cannot really get rid of these loans in a bankruptcy. So I can never get a fresh start. I can never find a way out. My life is over. I'm doomed because I have all this student loan debt that I thought would help me become a better person, get a high-paying job, and I could rule the world. Well, that's how these universities sell themselves to you. And even, the business school, you're in business, you're going to make a lot of money. Oh, you go to law school, you're going to make a lot of money. You're a poet, take out all that money, you're going to be nothing. Well, it's sort of turning out that, lawyers and doctors and dentists and business people, not really always guaranteed that big money. They take out substantially more loans than the poets, but their payback is also amplified. 71% of all currently enrolled college students who stopped out of their program or completing it say they have delayed at least one major life event because of student loans. The most commonly delayed event is purchasing a home, named by 29% of borrowers, followed closely by buying a car, moving out of their parents' home, and starting their own business. 15% of these borrowers also said they have delayed having children because of their student loans, and 13% have delayed marriage. Now, Joe Biden is doing his best to try to fix these problems with the student loan forgiveness. And it isn't forgiveness, it's the deal you make. You pay for 25 years, your loans are dismissed. You work for a nonprofit for 10 years, 15 years, your loans are dismissed. And until Joe Biden, it's been very hard to get those loans dismissed, even though the laws have been there for many, many years. They just were never enforced because the administration didn't care to figure it out and to actually put in motion the forgiveness of these loans. Joe Biden is doing that. I will share this link on our Discord server. But now, my friend, probably one of the most important parts of our conversation today is one about this, E-Verify. Now, I'd never heard of E-Verify before. I read a lot about identity theft because I was a victim of that several years ago, where somehow, I don't know if it was an old laptop or a landlord going through the garbage, somebody got into one of my Fidelity accounts. And luckily there wasn't anything in there because I had a lot of student loans. But I had an account. I think it was connected to a credit card. And without me knowing, they had gone into my Fidelity account and they didn't change it. They added themselves as a manager to my account, which gave them just as much power as I had, but I was not notified of any of that. I just happened upon it one day because I was logging into my account, I think, to pay my credit card bill. And every once in a while, I just, for some reason, check to see if everything is correct. And boom, I see all this new contact information with people I don't know. And they live in my own state. So this is like an inside job. Now, I don't know if they thought that was a payroll account or if it was a savings account, but they had nefarious intentions. So I immediately call Fidelity and tell them about it, and they lock it down. They change the account, all of that. I've never put another dime in there. I canceled my credit card. But I tried to figure out, how did they do it? And I think they had enough information about me from my landlord, and they were able to get a debit card replacement. And I had everything locked down on my main Fidelity account, but at that time, the debit card division of Fidelity was not run by Fidelity. It was farmed out to a third-party servicer. And that third-party servicer did not have access to the two-factor authentication and the lockdown information. So if you have enough information, Social Security, address, name, and you want to change your address and request a new card that then gives you new access to your account, you could do it all over the phone without ever speaking to a person. As long as you knew the information and you could beep, 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 input it on the keypad of your phone. And I was shocked that was possible. And so I never used Fidelity again. After that event, I went and didn't just lock down all my credit accounts with the credit unions and the check service. I froze it all. So nobody can do anything, including me, to any of my credit accounts because I have locked them down. Frozen. It's not temporary, it's permanent. So if somebody needs to access my information, I have to physically go in, unlock, allow access, and then relock it. And they used to charge you for that. If you wanted to lock your account, they used to charge you like $5. And if you needed, to apply for a loan or something, they would charge you $5 to unlock it. It appears now they don't do that anymore. They don't charge you to access and lock down your own information that belongs to you and not them. And then because I'm now, in the world of identity theft and caution, I read a very interesting story from a person who said that someone had used their Social Security number and applied for a job, and they were hired in that job, and they were getting paid on this person's Social Security number, but the payments were going into a different account. Right? So that's the scam. These people had that person's Social Security number and personal information, and they gave it to the employer, who then processed that information, and then that person started, quote, working, I guess, and earning income on this other person's Social Security number. So this all became known to that person who didn't know what was going on until they got a letter from the IRS saying, hey, you earned $100,000 3 years ago in this job that you never reported. You owe us $33,000 in taxes, plus penalties, $1 million, whatever. So this person freaked out, said, I never worked at this place. It's not even in my state. I can prove all of that. And in the end, the person was able to fight back and prove it all, but it took like 6 months. And getting all kinds of letters and threats were going to, keep your return, your income tax return. We're going to put a lien on your home because you owe us all this money in this job that you had that you didn't verify, that you didn't report. So people were asking, how is it possible that someone can take your Social Security number, use it, make money off of it, never pay tax on it, and then somebody else gets a letter? And then that person who was earning all that money on you are long gone. You can't find them, you can't sue them, you can't put them in jail. And that's where smart people, who know more than I know, said, you need to go register under E-Verify. E-Verify is a government domain. It's e-verify.gov. I will put this link on our Discord server. And what you do is you go there and you create an account. And this is really intended for international workers, that you have the right to work in America, and you have all your documentation, you upload it, you prove who you are. Your employer then checks your identity against the E-Verify database and sees if you are eligible for employment, yes or no. great, right? Stops a lot of illegal immigration, other issues that have to do with people who come to work here. All right. But there's another thing that E-Verify does for you. And it's easy to create an account. I created one for myself and for my baby girl. It's about immigration. However, you have this self-lock. So I born in America. I don't need E-Verify because I'm an immigrant or I'm a foreign employee. But you can lock down your Social Security number, which unfortunately has become like your identification number. It's absolutely ridiculous. Universities used to use your Social Security number as your university ID. Now they don't, because a lot of that information was stolen and, breached and sold on the dark web. But if you're of a certain age, your Social Security number has been out there in the world for probably 30 years. And people try to use it and try to open accounts, management your account at Fidelity, and other terrible things. So what you can do is self-lock. And any person can do this. You just go to everify.gov, click on self-lock, protect against identity fraud, lock your Social Security number in E-Verify. Here's the link on what E-Verify does. Self-lock is a unique feature that lets you protect your identity in E-Verify and self-check by placing a lock in E-Verify on your Social Security number. This helps prevent anyone else from using your Social Security number for an E-Verify case. If an employer enters your locked Social Security number in E-Verify to confirm employment authorization, and a lot of companies do this, even if you're just a regular citizen. You don't have to be a foreign national to be in this database to have any reputable employer check this database. If an employer enters your locked Social Security number in E-Verify to confirm employment authorization, it will result in an E-Verify tentative non-confirmation, a mismatch. With self-lock, you are always in control. You can unlock your Social Security number at any time a new employer needs to confirm your employment authorization using E-Verify. Your self-lock remains active as long as your account remains valid and you have not unlocked your Social Security number. The self-lock feature is only available to E-Verify account holders. And I'll put all of this on our Discord server. So I had this locked down. I signed up for E-Verify, gave them all my information, had to verify who I was. I have the right to lock down my Social Security number, and I did. That doesn't mean people aren't going to try to use it or scam you, but this closes down another very inviting and intimate avenue for exploitation of you unwittingly and your Social Security number that has been banged up and damaged. So let's say I wanted to go out and have a new life, right? And get a new job somewhere, and I forget to turn off my E-Verify, and they check, they put in my information, it comes back as a mismatch. So you're going to hear from them, and they're going to say, "What's going on? Why are you not allowed to work?" And if you don't remember, you say, "Well, I just have to go unlock my Social Security number, put me in your database, verify, tell me it's good, I'm hired, you're going to pay me, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to lock it back down again." So it's really the same as, your credit reports, credit companies where you lock and freeze your account. Same thing you can do for the work scammers by locking down your Social Security number and not letting other people take advantage of it. I think it's a wonderful service, and really nobody knows about it. But now you know, and you should go to e-verify.gov and find out how easy it is to register yourself, take control, and lock down your Social Security number so bad people can't mess with you anymore. So, hey, that's our show today. We discussed AI, we discussed Paul McCartney, we discussed locking down identity, we discussed Spotify and AI. It's all going to get really interesting over the next couple of years, and we hope to be right on top of it with you. So go to our Discord server. I'll put the link in chat again. It's bowls.co/Discord. That'll take you right to our server. You can join, look for the live stream link updates, and I will provide everything that we've discussed here, there, so you can scroll through it, all the old shows, see what we said, who said what and why and when. It's all there for you right now. So from Bowls TV, I'm David Bowles. Find us also on bowls.ai and bowls.radio. And hey, speaking of radio, we'll play you some more of our original music as we bid you good day and farewell, kind sir. I'll see you again soon. If you have any questions, comments, you know where to find me. I'm always here, ready, willing. Let's go.
Out here, where corn whispers low,
See you later. Bye.
I'm mooning in the sun, letting my worries go. Bowls radio hum, an old soulful tune. With a man in the moon, I reckon I'll commune. Oh, 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 speed the plow, of bone the fish in fields of gold. I make my lone wish with the crows, the cows, and the worn out shoes. I sang the country blues under a sunlit roof. The sun beats down on this land of green, but in my heart it's a midnight steam. The yearning for a man in the moon's embrace, finding comfort in the stars, in the open space. Oh, 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 speeds the plow, upon the fish, fields of Goshen, in the walls alone, in the worn out shoes, I sang the country blues under a sunlit roof. Swampy lands where secrets hide, in muddy waters my reflections abide, listening to the bowls, the echoes of the night, feeling close to the moon in the broad daylight. Oh, with the sky so wide, alone with the crows, where my thoughts reside. It's just me and the cows and Bowls radio's crew, mooning in the sun, yearning for the man in the moon. Oh, oh yeah. Oh my, oh, man in the moon crow.
We're out in the country with Bowles Radio.
Sitting on the back porch, sky painted flame, crackling radio calls out my name. Song drifts through the air, sweet as a prayer, bringing back the memories we used to share. Those old melodies, like whispers in the breeze, unlock the doors to my heart with ease. Unfolded memory, come alive with a song. Bowles Radio playing where the wishes belong. Time and space, a melody's embrace, turning back the clock with that old familiar grace. Dusty roads under wheels, sun setting low, radio's glow lights up the show. Every tune a story, every chord a clue, unfolding memories, I find my way back to you. Whoa. Yeah. Tales spun in song, where all our dreams throng. In the heart of the night, where the old songs belong. Unfolded memory, you come alive with a song. Bowles Radio playing where the wishes belong. Time and space, a melody's embrace, turning back the clock with that old familiar grace. Yes. Unwrap your wishes, lay them out in the night, each note a beacon burning oh so bright. Every song's like a letter sent from the past, telling tales of a love meant to last. With every beat, every line, I find a piece of a time that was once yours and mine. Whoa! Unfolded memory, you come alive with a song. Bowles Radio playing where the wishes belong. Time and space, a melody's embrace, turning back the clock with that old familiar grace. So let that radio play, let the memories sway. Bowles Radio unfolds the past, come what may. Oh, hey!